calling the meeting to order. My clock says 7:03, 8:03 Colorado time.
Yeah.
Is that where you are? Who's in Colorado?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, good for you. Nice.
Winds are supposed to be up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts tomorrow. It's dry as a tinderbox. So if I burn up, it's been nice knowing you.
Safe.
Is our weather coming your way at all?
It's very
The rainy
strange.
way?
Well, they do have Chinooks this time of year, but it's so dry that it's just very scary.
Ugh.
Everybody's really on edge here. So very bad. Okay. Anybody from the public have any open comments for items not on the agenda? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
I move we approve the minutes as written.
Second?
Ready, second.
You say wait a
All in
second, Cindy?
favor?
Seconds.
Oh, all in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, the first item on the agenda, old business, is committee membership. I admit I have not checked in with the Sarwals. I will do that. We'll put that on my list to do. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that our dear Cindy has asked to take a short leave of absence. As you all know, she's been undergoing chemo treatments and she's finished with them. She's much better. She's feeling much better.
Oh, great.
And they've been very successful, but it's really taken a toll on her physically, mentally. She's got a lot of things she's juggling, and she would just like to take a few months off, spend them with her family, and just kind of recharge. And I told her, go for it. So Cindy will be stepping away for a couple months. She will be back for the picnic, God damn it, or I will come drag her.
Yeah, you have to sign me up for something here.
No, she offered to come back for the Zots and the picnic. So
Right.
that's kind of our target to get her back. And I will be taking back the secretarial roles until then. So Cindy, best of luck. We love you and
Thank
you're
you.
doing the right thing. Prioritize you, your family first. And whenever you want to come back, we'll be here.
Okay, I'll be here in August. Yeah, I'm getting a new grandchild in June. So,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, that it's just going to take a lot of time. So I'm just using that for me and my family.
Good for you.
Yeah,
That's
Good for
great.
you.
Yeah,
Good
we'll
for
miss you, but you're doing the right thing.
I am, and it'll give me time to grow my hair back.
So she's gonna
Oh, it looks
stick
pretty good
around.
now.
You like my
She's
hair?
gonna stick around. Yeah. She's gonna stick around for today's meeting because she's still got some things she's doing, but we're gonna try and wrap them up this month. So
Yeah.
any questions there? Okay, let's see. I don't have David, go ahead.
Is Mike Chang ever coming back?
No.
I don't think so.
Good.
He's kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got some physical things and just kind of taking care of himself right now. I mean,
Yeah.
he may at some point in the future. I don't know, but
Well,
I don't
if we
see
need a
it.
volunteer for something, I think we can ask him. But
Yeah.
you know, I say he's kind of got a lot he's trying to get in while he can. Let's put it that way. So
Yeah.
travel and the like.
Yep.
My opportunity
Yeah.
is that I'm about to be the president of the Woodside High School Athletic Booster Organization.
Okay.
Whoa.
And so it's about to get ugly for me.
Hmm.
And so I'm worried about my ability to do the two roles.
Right. Understood.
Yeah, well, do what you need to do for yourself.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
One thought I have is we should check in with Steve to see if he knows of people, just because his kids are a little younger, is maybe there's a way to find some rejuvenate things with that age group. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to follow up and see if he has any ideas.
It's a good idea, Karen.
Yeah.
Okay, the next agenda item is game night.
Oh, yeah.
I was writing down follow up with Steve. Okay, so I have some good news for you. In that I contacted Cindy Rodas after our last meeting about October 24th, November 7th, and November 14th. Asked her if any of those dates were available and to please hold them all for us until we had our next meeting if they were available. And the good news is they're all available. So we have our choice of those dates for our next game night. And I think that's the first step, is to decide the date. And then we can figure out if we want to just go with trivia night, which quite honestly might be easier in some ways, or some other kind of game night. So that's where I'm at.
What were the 3 dates again? October 24th?
They're all Saturdays, October 24th,
Yep.
November 7th, or November 14th. And Thanksgiving is late this year. I think we talked about that last
So
week,
26th.
didn't we? I feel like we did.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
the
26th, which is well after that.
Yeah. So we thought the 14th could work. So it's really about, I mean, and I know we're running short on people of which day seems like the best. I personally, I don't think I want to do it before Halloween. Well, one, because we have the picnic, but two,
Yeah.
it might be nicer to do it after Halloween because there's a lot of stuff about Halloween. That's all.
I can't make it to October 14th. Is that what you said? October
24th.
24th.
I will be out of the country.
Okay, then
Because I'm biased, but don't worry
Okay.
about that for you, you know.
either of those other dates are fine.
I think
I
11.
am I'm out of the country until November 8th.
Okay, 11/14.
Yeah,
Going
I was gonna
once,
say, problem
going
solved,
twice.
right?
Does that work for people? November 14th?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Got it.
Game night settled.
And I don't know if we want to talk about it now or wait till another meeting about what we want to do. Maybe John, you and I can connect on
Yeah.
that. Okay.
I mean, well, we can
Yeah,
talk about it briefly. I'm kind of curious as to how people, obviously, I think, I'll call it the backup, as easy as you say, is trivia night now, right? I mean, we're able to get that together within a few days at this point, right? Or, it's good to have notice, but the questions are the whole format is actually relatively straightforward. Other than it being the sixth or seventh one or whatever it is, it's kind of we're down to the sixth or seventh level of every question. But anyway, I think it's straightforward. The others all require planning, but that's maybe okay, that's okay. The question is really what would people get excited about? I think is the kind of the question. Do people here have a view of that? What you think would be the most fun?
Seems like a while since we've had a real trivia night.
Okay.
I actually got asked the other day, someone saw me. I went to the photo, the cultural arts photo
Yeah.
gathering, and someone said, "Hey, when are we going to do another trivia night?"
Sure.
So,
Right.
there is interest in that.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
Let's,
and I actually like the idea of bingo in the spring only because I like the name Springo Bingo. That's it.
Okay. All right. Karen, we might do that just for you. All right. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, the next topic is
Like,
courts.
You like made a decision there. That's crazy. Good work, everyone.
David, you cut me to the core. All right, courts. Okay, where are we? So at the last meeting, we made the decision to propose to the town manager that we not, remember we had those 5 options. I'm not going to go through them all. They're in the minutes if you want to look back at them. But we made the decision to not pursue any court resurfacing or movement of the hoops at this time. And to move the dedicated pickleball court to court number 2 for the time being, with the plan to lobby the town council during the budgeting cycle for some level of funding next year to help in the total cost for either court resurfacing and or the movement of the hoops and the realignment of the courts, all of which we think would be about $80,000 given the current quotes. That obviously would give us more time to potentially look at other bids, to really firm up the work scope, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I went to the town manager with that proposal. Darcy did approve it. So at the current time, that is what we are. That is what we are. That's what we have in place. We have moved the dedicated pickleball court to court number 2, with court number 1 being tennis and pickleball shared, and court number 3 being tennis and basketball shared. That has been approved.
Is that right? So the current all sports court, is that tennis and basketball? So we're not moving the basketball nets?
Not now.
We
Okay.
don't have any money.
Okay.
Money.
All right.
David Bailey, you had a question or a comment?
Remind me again when the next budget cycle starts.
It's
actually
starting
finishes early.
now. It's starting now. In fact, that was one of my items on the agenda that I wanted to talk about, is we have to have our budget proposal into the council by May 15th.
Am I on mute? I don't know.
No,
you're
you're
good.
not.
Okay, so I just want you guys all to know that in the town council meeting tomorrow night, on the agenda, they're going over, I'm pulling this agenda up so I get it right. Receive a draft of fiscal year 26-27 capital improvement plan and associated budget presentation. And in that, Bob may know more than me because I looked at this and then I forgot about it.
It's 35,000
They
for the courts and
Yeah,
6,000
have-
for the,
they have put in 35,000 for the courts.
no, they have, well, they have, and they haven't. Okay.
They
If I
put it
could
out of
finish
account
my
201.
beginning before everybody kind of jumps, but that's okay.
Okay,
Never
go
mind.
ahead. Go ahead, Patty, because it's in the council here as an item for discussion.
I
That's all I want.
understand. I was going there, but okay. Tomorrow night, if I can continue, the Capitol is on the agenda. However, if you read it, what it says is 35,000 for the courts, but not funded. That is not funded by the town. They are not asking for funds for the courts. In the verbiage, if you read it, it says that those funds are to be raised privately.
Oh.
And that's account 201.
Yes.
Can I
I
bring up
don't
something?
think,
No, Bob, hold on, please. Can I
okay.
just finish?
Yep. Yep.
It also has the money in there for the Ford Field project, which is coming out of the Parks and Lou, and 6,000 coming out of the Parks and Rec budget. So it got that right.
So
But
Patty, I'm looking at page 32 of the council packet, and 201 has things like the town hall efficiency upgrade, energy efficiency upgrade, and the schoolhouse IT upgrades as well.
you need to read the verbiage.
Okay.
It says in
Okay.
there,
All
I
right.
don't have it called up,
Okay.
but it's the courts are in there as a capital improvement project, but are not reflected as being funded by the town. Okay. Bob, do you
Yeah.
disagree with that?
Uh, yes, a little bit, but go ahead. You wanted to have all your conversation with your members first.
If you disagree, then let me know what.
Well, I spent 30 minutes with Craig Taylor today, to understand the finances, because I've been in the last two meetings for finances, for both the meetings that they've had, and I will be tomorrow night. His comment is there will be nothing this year if things don't change. If they pass the tax for the transfer tax, then it would go back on the agenda. If they do not, there is virtually no chance that it would happen from the town. Then it would have to be all private fundraising to do the entire project. And we didn't get into whether it be project one, which would be just the resurfacing, or project two, which would include moving the nets. It's not an issue if we don't have any money, and he felt like if we don't pass this, it's a non-issue. If we do pass it, then yes, we certainly would take a look at doing that.
We're not going to know we're going to pass it until
Till
November.
November,
Yeah. So everything is up in the air.
yes.
I mean, and there's no money right now for court resurfacing from the town.
No, there isn't. He brought up one thing that I thought was interesting that I hadn't thought about. And that is that he said, do you want to stripe court 3, the current one, do no resurfacing, just stripe it for pickleball to get 4 more pickleball courts? And I said, well, let me talk to people that are involved with this and see what they think. My first reaction is, I don't know how many lines you want to have on a court, or how many users you want to have on a court.
Bob, time out.
Well,
Okay,
okay, but
stop.
this
No.
came from Craig.
Okay, fine. We're not there yet. Okay. All right. Let's just talk with the current issue that we have at hand
Okay.
before we go into like future, possibilities. Please. We just handle one thing at a time. Okay. Right now, we have no funds for court. If we go into the court, in the budgeting cycle, per Bob's discussion with Craig, it's not going to happen unless we get the November vote, which we won't know till November. And, I think that's probably the best case. Which means that we need to decide the action that we want to take as of now. I don't want to talk about striping court 3 right now. I just want to talk about really what action does the committee want to pursue given that? Is it status quo? Is it we still want to go into the budgeting cycle asking for money? Is it do we kick off the PV fund for the 35 just to get the court resurfacing? Do we wait until we see if we get the transfer tax in November? I mean, what would the committee like to do?
Yeah. Shoot.
Karen?
This is a question for the pickleball folks. How quickly could we raise the money? And the reason I'm asking it is timing wise, it seems like we should see if the ballot measure passes, right? Because then there could be money from the town. But if it doesn't pass, then we have to privately fundraise. And how quickly could we do that if we wanted to, say, do the resurfacing in the spring, the April, May timeframe, which is ideal?
You're talking if the vote in November is no,
If the vote is no, how quickly could the funds be raised so that we could ideally do this project at the right time of year?
35, or do you want the all 90? 80?
I'd like to hear both. Like,
Okay.
what are people thinking?
I don't know, Cindy.
Yes, I think given that we raised $7,000 for the new nets in one day, that I don't think it'd be a problem to get 35,000. 80,000, I'm not so sure about, because we actually only have about a little less than 100 sort of active members, and many of them are not PV Town residents, or not many of them, but there's 25% are not. So I don't know that they would be willing to pay for our courts. So my guess is that 35 would not be an issue and be raised pretty quickly. 80 is pretty doubtful. Bob, what do you?
Would-
I have said to the town council that I thought we could do 20 to 25.
Okay.
Would people be open if there were, and I have no knowledge of this, but if there were a private donor, would people be open to a name on the courts? Should there be somebody that's willing to fund it but wants their name there? I'm throwing it out as an idea.
I'd be fine with that.
I don't,
They're public courts.
I think the town has certain rules around that. We'd have to look at that.
okay.
I mean, is it like having a plaque on a bench?
Even that has certain rules. I think we'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, I know that at the library, don't they have the names on a wall outside the library?
Yeah, especially, I mean, certainly the big things like the buildings, but the fields, some have names, some don't.
Yeah, Ford Field has a name.
Russ Miller
Rosati,
is the
Rosati
soccer
has a
field.
name.
Right.
right. So I guess I'm not saying that could happen, but it seems like that's a scenario we might want to pursue because there are people in town that seem to be donating a tremendous amount of money to
Stuff.
other stuff. Yeah.
Maybe we could check into that. Who would I talk to find out if that's okay to do? Start with Cindy Rodas?
No, I wouldn't go to Cindy. I would
Who?
actually ask Darcy. I don't know, Patty, what do you think?
I mean, we can
Tony?
ask. I mean, Darcy would be the best. Yeah.
Okay.
If you do that, I would go big. I would try to get something that would fund things for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to actually name the courts, that's a big deal, right? And for the library, it was a couple $1 million, just to put it in perspective. Others were for other reasons, but anyway, there's no question we could do that. I would think that should be something more than just resurfacing it once. Maybe there's a way to do it in a more, smaller way that doesn't stick forever. I don't know. But anyway, I would think through that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the town's not going to be thrilled unless
Yeah.
it has some historic significance. Like Tom actually named it after his mom. And then in this case, if you wanted to make, somebody gave $1 million to make in the Sue Crane Memorial Courts or something, that might go over really well, but if it's somebody who just wants to name the courts after themselves, I don't see that getting a lot of traction.
Who,
Hey,
who was Russ Miller? Who is or was Russ Miller?
That's for trivia night.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't give it away. The public that's here.
Working on that right now, by the way. Working on that right now.
sticking with the committee, what are your thoughts about our course of action?
Oh, dear.
David, you have any thoughts?
What fields can we not water to raise the funds?
Yeah.
It's stupid that the town.
Can I ask about that? So
resurface-
is the issue that it's coming out of a capital budget, and so that it needs to be proved in a certain way differently than, everything else when we're just improving our field and recreational space, maintenance budgets?
Capital projects by default are projects that have more than a useful life of, say, 1 year. So they can be depreciated over, multiple years. That's
Right.
the financial description. So capital projects typically have different approval cycles because their accounting for them is different. It doesn't mean any difference in terms of the cash flow. Still have
Yeah.
to pay for them, which is, it's just the accounting for multiple year projects.
But resurfacing alone, is this being considered a capital project, do you know?
Yeah, it has a useful life of more than 1 year. That's a
Okay.
capital project.
It's too bad we can't do it every year then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
No thanks.
you want to overdo it, but yeah, sure you can.
Well, I have an opinion. I think we should wait till November to see if we're getting any money. And if it's a no, we start fundraising immediately. I mean, it's early November, election day, right?
First Tuesday.
Well, we'll know the first Tuesday, or we'll know by Wednesday. And I don't think we could be prepared to start fundraising on Wednesday if we needed to.
Mm.
Try and get it done before Christmas so that we can schedule it for spring.
Others weighing in?
I agree
Sorry,
with Cindy.
You go ahead, Karen.
Oh, I just said I agree with Cindy.
I was looking up who Russ Miller was. Are you advocating for raising for the 35 or raising for the 80?
I'm raising for the 35
Okay.
because I don't believe we can get 80, so I don't want to even go
Yeah.
there. If the town gave us 35, I'd raise the other part, but I just
Yeah.
80,000 out of this
Okay.
group, not going to happen.
Right. How about you, John?
I think it's fine. I would have just said if we should spend whatever money we can get as quickly as we can, right, offhand. But we don't want to do it
Have any money right now?
limited way, yeah. So I think
Okay.
that's fine.
David?
Someone made a comment that they're talking about how we were using the $6,000 that we have left over in our surplus budget. I thought we had agreed at the last meeting to spend that right away, so we didn't lose it. So why is that even under the discussion for the next year's budget? I'm confused.
Spending that on the Ford Field phase 1
We are. Okay.
study. Yes, I have confirmation from Darcy that
All right.
they are spending
Kind
it.
of jumping the agenda, but
Yeah, no.
Can I make a comment?
And who?
Christy?
Christy.
Sure.
Oh, I just got off the policy planning meeting for MROSD, and they have tier 1 is up, donations up to 30,000. Tier 2 is 30,100 to 60,000, and then there's a tier 3. So they've done it in 3 different levels, and then they have the volunteerism, whether you get a plaque or not on it, on a bench. They're upping 250 hours to 500 hours of volunteerism, plus number of years, they're going up to 20 years of volunteerism to get the plaque on the bench, and they have 32 benches in 26 parks. But I think they have more than 26, but I saw 26 somewhere. So I thought I'd just give you that feedback on how you get a plaque on a bench, but there's also, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, but
Please, yeah,
benches and parks could be you guys later anyway.
yeah,
And just know
okay.
there's a whole history there.
Yeah, thanks, Christy.
Uh-huh.
All right. Any other comments from the committee before I open it up? Okay. Bob, David, Christy, any comments?
I can't put my, hang on. You've got me muted.
No, we don't.
No, we can
Oh.
hear you.
We hear you.
We can hear you.
It says,
Oh.
it says mute on the screen, so I don't know.
Your screen is wrong. We hear you.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Thank you. I think I recommend that you take it up to November and wait to see what happens in November. And the money doesn't come in immediately, even if it passes, but they do have a surplus that they can use for a while until they run out. And if they have money coming in on the transfer tax, they believe they can backfill for their reserves. So I think that we just wait until November and see what happens. And if we don't get it, then we have to look at fundraising. And if we do get it, then they may do the whole thing depending on how generous they feel or how much we want to move the nets.
All right. Anybody else?
I would say realistically, I think that God, we're already in 26, 27, I suppose. Whatever happens in the election, and hopefully we get a charter and we get a tax, I don't think that's going to push the needle in 26, 27, because it's going to take a while to settle out and no money will come in, like Bob said, for a while. So, which is fine. It just, I wouldn't, if you want something done before June or July 27, I think you'd need to make other arrangements. That's my only point.
Well, I think we wait till November and roll the dice. That's what I'm hearing from the committee. Okay. So we go with status quo. Sorry, Bob. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
When do we bring up the item of the lines on Court 3?
Sure.
I'm personally not in favor of it, but this is an idea that Craig had, and he was just trying to expand the available courts for pickleball. I think it puts lines all over the place on the tennis court and the basketball court, but this goes to you guys to discuss.
Well, what we wanted to do was restripe Court 3 for just tennis and basketball, not put any pickleball lines on it. Because you're right, it just, we're limiting pickleball to 1 and 2 and leaving Court 3 non-pickleball ever. So I don't think we support that idea. Am I right, committee?
Yeah, he was suggesting it to try to give us something before the resurfacing is done, just because they're trying to give us something.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that gives us what we want, but kudos to Craig. Yeah, Cindy.
I don't. Part of the problem with Court 3 is it not only has basketball lines, but it has what's that game with the ball? Tetherball lines. It has circles in the middle. It's got so many lines. To add more is just ridiculous. And we need to leave something for tennis players that's always there.
I mean, if he was going to give us some money to just reline, I would reline Court 3 for just basketball and tennis.
Yeah. So what
no pickleball.
No pickleball.
I mean,
how much would it cost to not surface and just paint Court 2 pickleball only?
You could do that.
that cost, say, $6,000?
Oh,
I don't know, you'd have to erase the lines that are there and you'd have to restripe it with the new lines, so whatever that would cost. You're saying before the resurfacing, aren't you, Dave?
Yeah, I'm trying as like a stopgap because it's going to be a year it's going to be a year till we have resurfacing. Could we have like
Yeah,
only
you'd have to
stripes?
you'd have to erase the lines that are there and put new lines down.
To repaint all the courts, or at least court 2. We're gonna do that for court 2, and I think we should do it for court 3. In fact, I'd do court 3 before I do court 2.
I would assume that a lot of the cost, is whether you do 1 or 3, right? Because you're setting up for it. When I say 1 or 3, I mean 1 court or 3 courts. So to just do the 1 court, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
They get, yeah.
I have a question for the pickleball folks. How is it going with court 2 with the new move with pickleball being court 2? Any updates on that?
I'd say extremely well and very well received.
very well received.
I just got an email. I just got an email from a tennis player today saying that for some reason he can't reserve court 2. So I guess I'm taking that.
But he can reserve court 1.
No. Anyway. Okay. Bob, is your hand up?
No, nope.
It is, but.
Hmm.
Okay. Are we closing the court topic?
Should I send, just one question, should I send another email to the tennis players telling them about that change again? Should I just send a refresher email? You think it's worthwhile?
No. I've
No?
only got that one. Let's not stir the pot.
Okay.
Okay, I'm closing the court topic, except David Cardinal has his hand up.
Yeah, real quick, if you just want to repaint, it's pretty inexpensive, like maybe $1,000. I actually watched as they were repainting Court 6 at Alpine this week. You know, the guy just gets out there and just like hiring a house painter, he has this little tape and then he runs a little roller and does all that stuff, and it's not a big deal. The minute you want to do resurfacing, that's a whole different deal. But painting is just painting, just like painting your garage floor or whatever, except with lines on it. So, for what that's worth.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm closing the court topic. All right? Okay, moving right along, we are very, very close to turning on our new court reservation system. Right, Cindy?
Yes,
Cindy, nod your head.
yes,
You
yeah.
you want to give us an update?
Yeah, so we wrote the system. It's we got held up because we decided to get our own domain name. So we got the domain name, and my son today was moving in the application to that domain, which is called PV Parks-Rec. So it'll be courts dot PV Parks Rec for the reservation system. And the way it's going to work is that it's a reservation system for tennis players. So I will send an email to all tennis players that have registered on SCETA. I'll move all the reservations that are currently made over to the new system before I notify them that we've switched systems, and we'll shut the old one off. And we'll do that before the end of the month.
Can you
Probably.
not reserve as a pickleball player?
No, there's no reservations for pickleball. Only
It's for
for
league.
matches, just for league matches, and those will be made by admin.
But I, of
Indi-
course, could reserve a tennis court and put 4 pickleball courts on it.
Pardon me?
But I could reserve a tennis court and put 4 pickleball courts on it,
Yes.
4 pickleball nets on it.
I suppose so, yeah. I mean,
If I wanted to have a party.
if you wanted to have a party, yes. And we will use that.
You have to invite all of us, David.
I
Yeah.
do not. I would, but I do not have to.
Yes, of course you can do that. You can use the tennis court when no tennis players are there. But if
Yeah.
you reserve it, you can get off.
there is a time when tennis has priority, right? So it wouldn't be that pickleball could always be reserving it, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
when it is open for reservations, I could reserve a pickleball court.
So we can reserve that tennis court for special events.
Okay.
Okay.
If he wants to have a party, then he should call me and I'll reserve it for him. And that's what we've done for a number of people who wanted to have parties or who are doing fundraisers for nonprofits and stuff like that. When we had the kids have a tournament, we just reserve them for those special events. But an individual pickleball player can't go out there and say, "Oh, I want to have all my friends today and every day." No.
Okay,
And
so, yeah,
oh.
go ahead.
Question was about Corte Madera tennis team. Do we have an update on that? Speaking of court usage.
They're still using it. They have she's using court 1 and 3. She didn't complain at all about not having court 2.
Oh, so they've started.
Oh yeah, no, they've been
Oh,
going.
I didn't know that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they're halfway through. They're already doing matches. They have matches. So they'll be done May 15th.
So kudos to Cindy and her son Ryan. Thank you very much for doing the court reservation system. And we'll be flipping that over. So that's basically, we're saving the town money, which I'm going to point out. It's basically going to be a free system versus SCADA was going to charge us what, $1,800 for 1 year, for just tennis reservations, which
And
is
I
crazy.
did look at a number of systems. I really did. But, the cheapest ones were still just way over what we need. I mean, we hardly have any reservations it just made sense. So, seriously, my son spent an hour talking into an AI thing that wrote the code. And then ever since then, he's been making all the little changes I want. It's been easy. So it was a simple thing to do.
Appreciate all your work on it. So thank you. All right. So I'm closing out any court related topics. Anything else that we need to discuss? Okay. Moving along. Let's talk about what's going on with Dorothy Ford Park.
Well, there's been a little bit of movement. The town has hired Calendar Associates as a landscape architect to do the phase 1, which is the scoping, and to do an actual survey and get the design of where the building could be sited. And there is a meeting there's Little Leagues involved, and Calendar, and Darcy is the project manager. She's the one that is the owner of this, and myself, and it's in early May to have the first meeting. And that's about all I can tell you at this point in time. And I'm happy to answer any questions if I can.
CALLANDER.
Yes, I believe. They're local. And I could look it up. The name of the
Fine.
principal.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
So, let's hope that we come up that, and as Patty mentioned, the $6,000 that was left in our budget, that was the first thing applied to this consultant project. And we'll just knock on wood and keep our fingers crossed that we get something good, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Did you and Nona ever go back and try and get a better read on the drawing that you put together?
Yeah. So Nona gave me she gave me a diagram that Darcy had given to her. And I will say that it is given it until we get the actual updated thing with some designs, it's going to be hard to tell, but most likely it will be moved more into the parking lot than what I showed. And that the 75-foot right of way, it's not measured from the center line, which is the way I did it, according to her. So but it's so hard to tell. She just gave me a map that said, well, here's that boundary, which again, as you guys know, is that little piece of the parking lot, right, between the creek setback and the road setback. But I still think we need to have the design done and the siting done so we can really see what it would look like and what the picnic area could look behind it and how it's screened from the road.
Okay. I have one more quick question. Helen Walter called me about a couple of other things, and she was under the impression that the council had directed the PV fund to open up a project. They had approved a project to begin soliciting donations for the project. I told her that I was not aware of that.
I don't recall that either, Patty, in the meetings that there was an
Neither.
actual,
Okay.
I know we had the meeting about whether we could consider, when we look at this siting and we do the scoping, if we could consider building within the setback, which was approved. But I don't believe in that meeting there was ever any discussion about using the PV fund, and it would have been a separate topic. I think that people think that's what we're going to have to do, but I don't think that it was ever formally approved. Does John Golden have a
I didn't think so either,
recollection?
but she had it in her mind. She was going to go check, but that was news to me. Okay.
I think the only thing that has been formally approved was the pickleball stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on Dorothy Ford? I see your hand, Bob. From a committee perspective, any questions for Karen on the Dorothy Ford Park project? No? Okay. Bob
Wait.
Adams?
Yeah, the only thing I've done some homework on the Portola Valley Fund, and for any fund that you have that you're trying to raise money for, if you're going to use their 501c3 so it's tax deductible, you need to have a project committee, and that normally would mean at least one person from your committee, one person from baseball committee or baseball group, and one from the town. So at least so you have a project committee that's kind of the head of the fundraising group and kind of does the specifications and oversees it all. That's part of the requirement of using the fund according to John Golden.
Yeah, and both Patty and I have been in touch with John, and we thought this was going to be maybe even the first project to the PV fund, and then things changed. So we'd been chatting with him, but he didn't talk about a formal committee, but I think he knew that Patty and I were involved or something. So
if you look at the website, actually,
he also knew that I didn't think that we had a formal approval from the town yet either. So
probably.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else on Dorothy Ford?
Yes, have a question.
Go ahead, Christy.
So the drawing that you drew up, Karen, we're not going with that anymore, where the bathrooms are on one side and the snack shack on the other. Was that next? And now we're back to drawing, or okay?
No. So Christy, there's been no. So what I showed was where I thought the setback line would be and where a building could go. That was not a building design at all. So the concept is still to do bathrooms, a joint bathroom and concession building, but it hasn't been. Calendar will be presenting design options to us. Maybe it's one ADA bathroom and two regular bathrooms in the concessions, or maybe it's two ADA bathrooms in the concessions. That none of that has been decided. It's really, and the first step is to figure out where we can site the building. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, got it now. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
All right. I'm closing this agenda item if there's nothing else. And moving along to our favorite event of the year, Dots to Tots Town Picnic. We have a date,
You?
September 19th. Yay. So I'm not sure how much we need to talk about today, except
Yeah, we
I
do.
want to talk about the budget. But before I do that, does anybody have anything specific that they wanted to bring up about the event?
I have two questions. One is, as it turns out, I think we do want to have the softball championship game the day after the town picnic. And do you remember when I think one year we left the outfield fence up for the town picnic? Do you remember how disruptive?
It was a disaster.
Yeah, okay, because now I'm gonna have to figure out how to put it back up
I think one year
Sunday.
Justin had to come put it back up
Yeah,
because it was just, the kids tore it down.
yeah, exactly.
It just
I knew that would
didn't
be a problem.
survive.
Yeah, I knew it'd be a problem for the fence. I just don't know if it would be a
What
problem
time
for
is the
town picnic.
game?
Not till 5 in the
Oh, okay.
afternoon. Maybe there
All
might
right.
be an earlier one, a third place game at 3 or 4, but um, yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to just figure that out. So uh, I just was wondering if you remembered whether it impacted the town picnic itself. I know it impacted the fence.
It got destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, you said you had two things.
Oh, yeah. The other one for the, I mean, maybe we'll get into all the anyway, but we had said the one thing we need to decide on Zots to Tots is what the giveaway would be, right? We had those backpacks, which was a great idea last year. I wasn't there. And then we had hats before, which was easy. T-shirts, I think we've moved past because they're so complicated with sizes and cost. But I thought we'd kind of use this as a time to say, does anybody have any ideas? Just creative ideas for a inexpensive giveaway that people would like and they'd ideally actually use.
Or not just, yeah.
But or not.
Right.
How about a water bottle? Is that?
We're going to be picking those up all over the place. We worse
Yeah,
than the metals.
probably.
Especially because they'd have to be the plastic and expensive ones, and I don't know how many people would hold on to them. But and it's always something that you can do, though. I do think people would largely throw them away. They do most things, frankly. But it's again, we'll think of something.
Fine.
I just thought I'd put
I
it out
find
there.
medals all over the
Sure,
lawn either too. So
of course. Go ahead,
What
Karen.
about a PV jersey with holes, that you use
hey,
for
let's let the
substitutes?
committee talk first, please.
Okay.
Karen.
So I have two thoughts. So first of all, I was going to say that the medals, actually, we gave them only to the kids this year, and we ran out, and we combed the field looking for extra medals because we thought there'd be there, and there was only one. And there were people asking. They came to me and they asked, they could get a medal, and it was for their kids. They said the kids were really upset about it. So I really think we need to do the medals for the kids. I think
Right.
that worked out really well. And then the other thing I would say, and I don't have an idea about what we do, but something that we may want to consider, because I think it might be a way to be more efficient for years to come, is that we don't put the year on the logo. And therefore, if we bought something like t-shirts, not
Sure.
that people are going to want them again, but maybe there's a way to
Mhm.
have them for another year or whatnot. But it's just an idea, because it's nice to have the year on there because it commemorates that.
Right.
So, but I was looking at other things in there, and it's hard to figure it out. The only other thing would be like a tote bag that people could use at the grocery store. You know how people use reusable tote bags?
That's a good idea.
That's not a running thing though, but it's
Yeah.
a sport. Anyway, those can be very inexpensive, and those with that logo on it. So
Okay. Good ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay.
No, but the one thing I remember is we don't want all the sheriffs there paying for the sheriffs, right? Patty, who was it that we
Talking
in the
about
race?
what?
You said that we had all of those people with the law enforcement for the road closures,
What about him?
that we didn't want that this year.
What? No,
I never said that.
no.
I thought that in our meeting there was a number, maybe it's Woodside Patrol. It was some, okay, I take it all back. I could have
have
sworn
no-
that,
We need those guys.
Well, we need the
okay,
road
maybe it was
closed.
Ed
Oh.
Holland.
Oh, you're talking about Woodside Patrol.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yes. A surprising thing came up in the Parks and Rec budget for actuals when I was looking, was a charge for Woodside Patrol for the day of the Zots. And I don't remember
What do they do?
authorizing Woodside Patrol to be there. I did talk to, I thought it was Ed Holland, and he said they were present. But I said what we didn't do was give them advance authorization to be there and to spend money. So
I
that's what.
I think there was
Not
also a
that we
feeling.
need the volunteers, not Woodside Patrol.
Exactly, is that I think there was a feeling that they weren't doing a lot for the expense versus the sheriffs and the road closure and all of that, yes, and the volunteers that are helping with the race.
I think that's something we can manage proactively better this year.
Okay.
If we don't want them there, they can't bill us. So, okay, speaking of that, can I talk about the budget for a second?
Yeah.
So, given that ZOTS has been 100% of our budget, with the exception of a small piece, not this last year, but the year before, for game nights. I wanted to talk about our budget. So we need to submit a first pass budget to council by May 15th, which is going to be before our next meeting. Now, we're not a Brown Act committee, so we can discuss this over email, which I'm happy to do, but I wanted to get a feel from this group. So last year we asked for 25,000, which was, no, maybe we asked for 26. We asked for 26, 25, which was for Zots, 1,000 for like game nights. So, we spent 19 on the picnic, which is where we saved the 6. Whenever we did submit some for the game nights, so that's where it kind of comes out in the wash. Anyway, and then we spent the remaining 6 on the Ford Field bathrooms. So we had spent our $25,000 budget last year, but only 19 on the event. So, what do people feel is appropriate for, given the town's financial situation? I asked Darcy specifically if there was any guidance to the committees as to whether we needed to submit less, whether we could expect to be cut. She said there's absolutely no guidance. You should submit what you feel is appropriate for your committee. The council will take that into consideration. So, given that, was there a feeling from the committee about what we should submit for a budget for next year?
I have a couple questions.
David, Oh, questions. Okay, let's do questions first. Sorry, David, you had your hand up first. Do you have questions?
No.
Comment.
I have a comment.
Okay,
I think
let's
we should
go.
copy paste from last year, and I have to go because I got to make dinner for my fam.
Okay, great. Thanks, David.
Bye.
Karen, you had questions?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. The first would be, is there anything that we think that we would want to cut from the picnic or add to the picnic?
You need more.
Well, I think the picnic is due for an overhaul. I think we could certainly think about cutting back. Do we need the petting zoo? The petting zoo is expensive, $2,500. It is a very popular event. We could cut back, do something different than the inflatables. Inflatables are 3,000. The biggest expense for the picnic is the rentals of the booths and the tables, chairs, and umbrellas, which is approximately $7,000. Now, everybody tells me that the biggest complaint about the picnic is not enough shade. So I doubt very much they would want to go without umbrellas and booths. But that's, could we think about that in a different way? Maybe. But those are the big ticket items for the picnic.
Okay.
Rentals, 8,000. Inflatables, 3,000. Petting zoo, 2,500. Those are big ticket items.
Okay, a couple questions. The booths, there's a lot of committee booths, and so we're paying for those out of the Parks and Rec budget. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yet? Okay.
Yes.
Is that something, I don't know if that can get offset by other committees or how that, or that the town, do you see what I'm saying?
That's just moving around money.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. And then the other thing is that if you remember the dunk tank broke last year and you were going to ask not to pay for it. Do you know if we paid for it or we didn't? Because that would
paid for it because we didn't call them and tell them that it was broken. Otherwise, they said they would have come out and replaced it right away. But because we didn't call them, they did not give us a break on it.
It would have taken all day to fill a new tank up,
I know.
but that's a different story. Okay. And then as you may recall, there was a donation made for the dunk tank, and I'm not sure that was ever accounted for. So
I don't know either.
Well, so if it hasn't been, we should roll that over is all I'm saying.
Yes.
So the only other thing I'll say is I was thinking a little bit about, because I thought the dunk tank was a big hit last year.
Yeah.
And that's very retro. And I was wondering if there were things we could do, like, this involves a lot more volunteer work. So I'm not saying we should do it. I'm throwing it out as an idea. Things like a family water balloon toss or a 3-legged race or cornhole. We could have a cornhole contest, tug of war, a hula hoop contest, sack races, egg and spoon races, a big giant Jenga or wheelbarrow races, that there's a section where it's sort of like family races. I'm just throwing it out as an idea. But the issue with that is it could be a lot of fun, but it's going to involve a lot of volunteer work.
Okay, good ideas. Thank you. Comments from the rest of the committee? Cindy, John?
I don't think we should cut any of the things that are really, really popular.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about the jumpies in the petting zoo. I mean, the kids love that. Let's stick with the things that the kids love. I do agree that you need shade and tables, but I would err. I mean, this is mostly about families with young children. it seems to be the most popular with, and let's just make sure that we have the things that would draw them. It's my sense. And I just wish we as a town could afford a few $1,000s for that once a year.
Yeah, we should.
Okay. Cindy, you have any thoughts?
Um, I love the picnic the way it is. If you changed it, I would hate it. I mean, I really, everything there, like how nice it looks with all the tents out on the field, how it's great to walk around there. It's great to have the hamburgers, the Boy Scouts with their hamburgers. It's just everything about that is really wonderful. The petting zoo, I see lines going into the petting zoo. I can't imagine not having it. So yeah, there's nothing that I would change. I can't think. I mean, if we didn't spend $6,000 last year, we could cut the budget by what we didn't spend. Or by some of it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
no,
there's two things is we don't know if costs will go up, which they probably will.
let's say 10% up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if we want to actually have money for game nights, I mean, if I remember, I think, Cindy, you and I basically donated the decorations and the prizes and everything. It wasn't, we didn't spend the Parks and Rec money on it, but if we wanted to do a little bit more, we would need some money in a budget for that.
That's true.
We could always charge entry fees too, which we
I
do
think
anyway.
those
but-
things, even Zots to Tots, frankly, feels break even, right? We charge for it. So it's just more a matter of how it's budgeted, and I think that's true for Trivia Night. We really don't need any money for that. We'll charge for whatever we think the limited costs would be.
Remember, most of the cost savings from last year were from the Shotskis. I mean, cutting back t-shirts, hats to the tote bag or the little backpacks saved us what, Karen, like $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah,
It was huge.
maybe not that much, but it was the
biggest.
big cut.
It was
yeah,
big. I mean,
yeah.
quite frankly, the picnic part of it was pretty status quo.
Yeah. And we've always thought we could do that with Zots. We haven't really needed to a long time ago. Now we do. So, by the way, I plugged it into AI, into Claude for Anthropic, and it comes up with ideas like, I mean, talk about no money, temporary tattoos with the logo of the race. If you want to go to zero money, things like that. There's a lot of ideas for very inexpensive stuff.
Don't knock my buddy Claude. He and I are in love. He and I are in love. Love.
I like the temporary tattoos. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
And Patty,
Kinda
can
funny.
you? The other thing you just reminded me about what's odd with our budget is that it incorporates the Zots to Tots expenses, but we don't get the revenue for it. Is that correct?
It's the way the town accounts for it.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
apply, you cannot apply revenue against an expense line item.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's not possible. So you're right.
So
I mean,
so
it's
the
just
budget needs the budget then that we ask for has to include the Zots to Tots expenses. That's my question.
yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not just the picnic. It's
Yes.
got to be.
There's no way to
Yeah.
do it differently. I mean, obviously we could take it private. It's what, the PV Palooza did. There may be other ways we can get the accounting.
Ryan raised money for the picnic. Really?
No,
I swear to God.
but still, I mean, the Tots to Tots raising money is easy. We're
I
charging
know.
for it. There's no raising money. It's just an accounting issue.
We're beyond questions. Bob, you've had your hand up for a while.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, where does the expense for the courts come in? Is it part of your budget, or is that part of capital, or how does it get, can it be an annotation on your budget?
What part of courts? What do
The
you-
$35,000 or $80,000.
No, it's not part of Parks. That's part of Public Works budget.
Oh, Public Works?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not part of Parks and Rec. So,
I think we need to ask for basically the same amount that before, because let's say we spend 20,000 and we think there's going to be a 10% increase.
Yeah.
We're at 22. We're not making it higher. The good news is we're not looking for more, but I don't know how other people feel about that.
David said the same thing. John, Cindy,
I would go a little less, or at that, I would not get any higher. Absolutely not any higher.
John,
I would keep it the same personally.
Same.
okay. Anybody from Bob, David, Christie? Okay.
Yeah, I like the way it is, and I really like the petting zoo. I would not get rid of that. And there's other game ideas always, but really the Boy Scouts come up with the new ones. No, I like it the way it is. I really like the music. I would not drop the music.
Same band, but yeah.
Yeah.
Piano's a little loud. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna submit like 22 and see what we get. What do you think, Karen? You would not even,
I'm concerned because, well, unless we just don't do something for Zots to Tots, I'm concerned that we'll go over budget. And I personally would rather have that there and really strive to be under budget. But that's my feeling, is I would keep it the same. And
Keep it
say
at
we're really gonna
25?
work, yeah, and
keep
we're
it at
really gonna
25?
work hard again. We just don't know what the cost increases are gonna be this year. I mean, as you know, it's kind of wacky out there. So
God knows we might have tariffs on, inflatables. I think it's thing come from China.
delivery charges, we don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask for a free dunk tank this year. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your ideas. I'll let you know. Yeah, I have a feeling flatter. I mean, if they cut us, I don't know. I swear to God, if this town can't afford a picnic, where are we? Really, where are we?
Agreed.
Okay. All right.
So you're gonna ask,
Closing out.
you're gonna ask
Shots.
25, did you say? You were gonna ask for 25 or
I'm gonna ask for 25.
25? Okay.
What the hell? Shoot me.
If anything, they're going to drop it. They're not going to give you
Yeah.
more than what
They're
you
not gonna
asked
give me
for.
more, yeah.
And I think we need to tell them we're going to make every effort, just like we did this year, to not, to go under it.
Just don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
So. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other thoughts? Okay. Anything on the parking? Christy, I know you and I are working on the deed restriction. I hadn't done anything. I hadn't done anything because I thought I was confused by that last conversation we had.
Yeah, you're talking to me, Karen,
Yeah,
right? Not
yeah,
Chrissy.
Yeah.
The one question I have is, were you able to write a letter from Parks and Rec with our viewpoint of making sure that the parking for the soccer field was in their negotiation process, or that somehow allowed for?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. Yes.
Did you hear anything back on that?
Yes, I heard back from Darcy that the only thing they were negotiating was total price and term. There were no other conditions being negotiated, and that if and when the soccer parking would be part of the negotiations, that she would make sure Parks and Rec was at the table. So I have her response. I can send it to you, just so you have it in your, because it'll probably be the next administration. Yeah, it was very disappointing. Okay, is there anything else?
Can I say one thing? Are we done with? Are you
I don't want to
done?
hear about park benches.
Nope,
Okay.
it's the rocks.
Okay, is it relevant?
Yep, it's the
Okay.
parking. Parking at Alpine Inn has 2 rocks. If we were to have a natural disaster, I cannot move the rocks. And nor could anyone else, so.
They're there because the sheriff department put them there. My understanding is because that is not an authorized exit and they don't want people using it.
Yeah, but we're gonna kill people, or we need to.
Well, if the rocks aren't there, people use them. So I don't know.
Well, I've written to Kim to come look at it with fire
Okay,
marshal.
okay,
Come assess it and make sure that you like what you see. I
okay.
don't like, okay, I live on Alpine Road,
I know you do.
okay? And all those are bombs and they will cause major fires. So to me, I'm too close to it to know they're there. And that is what is going, that's why I'm saying this now. Because
Okay.
fires go up, so that it's gonna cross the road and go up.
Okay,
Okay,
I understand, Christy.
all right. I just,
Thank you. I appreciate your comments.
yeah, maybe even
I
a
know.
rope
I know.
with, okay?
The rocks are a big controversy, but the Parks and Rec doesn't have anything to do with the rocks. Much as I
What?
love it, we have
I'd
nothing
love
to
a
do with the
letter
rocks.
written by this committee on the rocks and come up with a better solution for Kim. It's really a Kim issue with the,
The Kim issue. Yes, it is. I agree.
okay.
All right. Okay, anything else? All right. Thanks, everybody.